Here's one that's, I think, a fairly spicy take. Half of it is anyway. Drake London is the biggest offseason winner. This is according to Joe. Drake London is the biggest offseason winner so far, and round 4 is far too cheap, and that's where he went. He went right in the middle of round 4. That's not so spicy. This part is he'll be a second rounder by August and still worth it. Ooh, you know what, Dave? I'm gonna let you react to that first, and then we'll go to Joe. Drake London, great value in round 4, and he should be he will be a second rounder, and it will be worth it there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he makes it to late round 2, let's call it that, as a pick this coming draft season. But I do think that he is an absolute winner because he's getting Kirk Cousins. He's upgrading from Desmond Ridder and Taylor Heineke. I did some digging on just wide receivers and how they do when they get at least 7 targets. Last season, the average percent of the time when a wide receiver had at least 7 targets and scored 15 or more PPR points was 52%. With Kirk Cousins, it was 71%, meaning 71% of the time that one of his wide receivers had 7 targets, they went over 15 PPR points. London had 6.9 targets per game last year. So I think it's pretty safe to say that he'll be in that 7 target range as a floor this year. I completely get it. What worries me about London is the touchdown production. Can he get to 8, 9, 10 touchdowns? Can he actually come through with more than that? I think the catches will have to really be there. I see him as a PPR proposition. Will he be good enough to be a second rounder? Again, I think you're drafting him too close to his ceiling. If you do that, I'm much more comfortable taking him in round 3.
So just something with me and Joe last year at the flex draft. Joe was doing the stickers when my draft was going on. His draft was afterwards. And we were almost like in sync with he almost knew everything I was going to do. And this is so funny because last night I adjusted my rankings following the draft, and Drake London right now is 25 for me. So he's just outside the top 24. And I totally agree. I see the rocket ships just, completely in the direction for Drake London. Very excited about the situation for him. So he may be a second round pick for me by the time we're done.
That's why I'm so glad that Jamie was in that first draft, because I hate drafting with Jamie because we have the exact same board and the same rankings. But I'm just looking, Dave made a great point there, had a great stat about Kirk Cousins. He also played with Marcus Mariota. Okay. Let's not forget that. Drake London has never played with a barely serviceable quarterback in the NFL yet. He is a terrific young prospect. And I keep using the word prospect because we haven't seen the best of Drake London yet. I think he's going to get a huge amount of that target volume. I do think 8 touchdowns, as Dave was alluding, that's what he's got to get to, is right there. I've got him currently as my 10th wide receiver on the board, and I'll tell you why, because the guys right around there, Debo. Wow. Well, here you go. Debo has a situation too where he's always, we're always worried about him, the injuries, and that quotient's always very high. If you want to take Debo over him, that's fine. DJ Moore is now, I have him at 11. He's going to be playing with a rookie quarterback this year. We just don't know. Pittman Jr., I love. Pittman's going to be playing with Anthony Richardson's still kind of a rookie quarterback. Ayuk, we know the Ayuk, dynamic with Deebo Samuel. So all these guys that are going around that cluster, the one guy that sticks out that could be the absolute alpha, that has a veteran quarterback, that is a team ready to win, that is all set, it just needed the quarterback, it's Drake London. And I think that's an easy thing for me. I mean, Mike Evans is another year older, so is Devontae Adams. I'm looking at the rest of this board, and although I might be drafting him at his ceiling, I'm also drafting him with the present construct of the player pool at wide receiver, in essence, basically showing me that Drake London is the best investment of these guys, because even though I haven't seen it yet, there's a better chance that I'm going to see it this year than I will with all these other guys I could start to throw some shade at here and there. And I think that it's one of those things, the more we talk about it, the more we think about it, we're going to keep talking about it, and people are going to start listening, and he's going to start flying up draft boards because people like Jamie are going to say it, and they're right. And at the end of when all is said and done, I do believe that London's going to be much closer to a second round pick. Maybe he doesn't go there, but if he goes in the third, I'm going to take him every single time he's there, because I think he can be that good. I think the Falcons are going to win this division.
Joe, who do you have at 9 at wide receiver? The guy
at 9, I have Garrett Wilson currently at 9. I have Nico Collins at 8. So
okay.
No, you know what, Joe? This is very interesting because yesterday we were talking about, you see this draft board here. I took Chris Olave with the 3rd pick of round 2, and I just didn't like it. And I said, after the top 8 receivers, which didn't include Nico Collins for me, it did include Garrett Wilson. I would have him probably 7, and then AJ Brown 8 in PPR. After that, I was like, I don't think there may not be a single wide receiver that I think belongs in the second round. you're making the case that Drake London is that guy. So putting him there, it does. I mean, I think it's fine. I didn't really consider it yet.
Well, how much of a lock is Garrett Wilson to be a success this year? I'm just saying, is Aaron Rodgers not a volatile 40-year-old human being at this point for a whole host of reasons? I'm just saying, like, it's not like a lock. Like Aaron Rodgers comes back and everything is hunky dory and just great with the Jets. Ask any Jet fan if anything is great with the Jets, and they're going to tell you the answer is undoubtedly no, never.
I guess you want to compare the two. The one thing would be is that Drake London did not ascend to the heights that Garrett Wilson did in his rookie season with also crappy quarterback play. So
agreed. Drake London's going to be dripping in Cole's cash with Kirk Cousins all season long, Jamie. All season.
But it's a great comparison. I mean, you're talking about 2 third-year wide receivers that have the chance to have that breakout campaign that we love to see in this type of scenario, that things just improve. We thought it was going to happen for Wilson last year because of Aaron Rodgers joining the Jets. But yes, these are two guys, like, you want to get in on players like this before it happens, as opposed to, oh, I wish I took them after the fact. Like this is the situation where you want to buy into these guys, which is why, like I said, I was excited about Drake London getting Kirk Cousins, not initially to this point, but yeah, he's inside my top 12, and like I said, just outside round 2, and I would have no problem putting him in round 2 right now.